Queen's Speech 2017. What time is the Queen's Speech on Christmas Day? Watching the Queen's Speech has been a Christmas tradition in Britain ever since it was first broadcast live on television in 1957. This year, the Queen's Christmas message will air at 3 p.m. and be shown on BBC One, ITV, and Sky One. The 10-minute message will also be broadcast on BBC Radio 4. Those not interested in what the monarch has to say can watch Channel 4's alternative Christmas message, which will air at the same time. The exact contents of the Queen's Speech are kept under wraps until Christmas Day, but there are a number of major world events the royal might choose to discuss. In recent years, Queen Elizabeth II has spoken about the threat of terrorism in the UK and, following a string of attacks in Britain in 2017, this is likely to be a focal point once again. Another topic could be the Grenfell fire tragedy, which claimed the lives of 71 people in June. In the aftermath of the fire, the Queen met with survivors and looked visibly moved by the harrowing stories she heard. Last year, she spoke about Great Britain's success at the Rio Olympic Games, adding that it is often ordinary people that do extraordinary things. To be inspirational you don't have to save lives or win medals, she said. I often draw strength from meeting ordinary people doing extraordinary things, volunteers, carers, community organizers and good neighbors, unsung heroes whose quiet dedication makes them special. Unlike many of her public appearances, the Christmas message is one of the few speeches the Queen writes herself, allowing her to speak freely about the topics she cares most deeply about. The head of the British monarchy has broadcast a speech on Christmas Day ever since 1932, when King George V gave a message to inaugurate the BBC World Service. It was initially intended to be a one-off, but proved so popular that the King spoke every festive season until his death 5 years later. There was no Christmas speech in 1936, following the abdication of King Edward VIII. Though King George VI resumed the tradition in 1937. Queen Elizabeth II picked up the tradition and has given a speech every year since, apart from in 1969 when she released a written message.